Right, we're going live. Let me know when you see us. And if you can hear us. You can hear us, that's fine. Hi guys, how's it going? Thanks for coming along. Hollowing tools. I was just saying to Dale there, this is one of the ones that after being in the workshop today, I wish I'd never started. It seems I've got that many bloody hollowing tools that I don't really know where to start. I've got, size-wise, it goes from the sublime to the ridiculous. So we'll get on. I'll alter the camera angle, and I'll see if we can make some sense out of what we're going to be doing. It should be good for a laugh anyway. Right, just give us a second, guys. I'll just alter the camera angle. Third floor. Right. I'm trying to get the view on this end because this realistically, I've said it again, realistically, this is where all the work's going to be getting done. I'm just wondering if I'll be standing in the way while I'm doing this. Right, I'm going to start off showing you some of the hollowing tools I've got. I'm going to start off with, I'll tell you what, I'll start off with the first one I ever bought. First hollowing tool I ever bought. It has got a swan neck. It's got an armrest. It's called the Stewart System, made by Robert Sorby. It also comes with a parting tool that you can fit on there as well. You can get loads of different tips and everything for this, as you can for most hollowing tools these days. But like I say, this is the one that I bought. Oh God, I can't remember. That long ago. No, it's the Stewart System. This is the one that came out before the RS200. Right, small hollowing tools. Right, who have we got in? Anyway, let's have a look. I'll just do some quick hellos while we're here. Obviously, you're in. I think I saw Mountain was in. Yeah, Mountain's in. Hi, Mountain. Evening, Stace. Hi, Nick. Thanks for sharing, by the way. And anybody else who shared. Christine, Michael, Debbie, Woody Woodcrafts, Mike. Hi, Mike. Red to any to followers truth piece. Okay, nice to see you. Shop Dog, David, Enrique, Glenn. Hi, Glenn. Jeff, Lenny, T. Did I say Debbie? Hi, Debbie. Anyway, the Dark Man's in. Right then. Oh, hi, Scott. Hi, Steve. Right. I've got a set here by, oh God, I can't remember who the hell they're by. I think they might be Hamlet. These are a really small set for doing box work. So you get the straight one, you get a right angled one, and you get the swan neck. They work pretty much the same as any other types of hollowing tools, which I'll come on to a bit later. Another set that I bought. Right, okay. Another set that I bought years ago is this set again. There's a swan neck, there's a right angled one, and there's a straight one. These ones were developed by a guy called, I forgot his name, by a guy called Chris Stott, who did a hell of a lot of box work. or boxes, I should say. So he developed them, and they used to be sold through Craft Supplies when it was just Craft Supplies. Right, why do I need people's addresses? Good. Oh, right, okay. Right. The tools that I tend to use a lot of now tend to be the Simon Hope ones. So I use his small set quite a lot when I'm doing boxes. Again, you'll see with the majority of tools, hollowing tools I've got, I do have the swan neck as well as the straight one. But I will actually show you that a lot of the time you don't really need to use the swan neck. This is the Simon Hope bigger set. This is a flat bar, which actually means it's got less chance of twisting on the tool rest. And these fit into the Simon Hope handles, so they're interchangeable. Hi, Anna. Did you see David come in? Oh, Duncan. Hi, Duncan. This is a set from Woodcut. These are actually set up different again. I got these a hell of a lot of years ago. Instead of being scrapers on these, I'll probably get this totally blurred now. Instead of being scrapers, these are actually, they've got proper cutters on like gouges, and they've got an adjustable fence on the top. So you can actually adjust how aggressive a cut you want to take on these ones. So they would cut again. You can get handles just to fit the tools into. Then we'll start moving on to the bigger stuff. This is a tool developed by Rolly Monroe. I think he's a New Zealand turner. Again, this has actually got it's a disc cutter, but it's cupped on this one. And again, it's got a fence on that you can adjust for more aggressive cuts. It also has an extra piece you can add on, so that actually turns it into a swan neck as well. Right, this one. Right, this one, I can't remember if this was called the Exocet or the Excelsior. I can't actually remember. But this... Right, which one do I like the most? At the moment, Woody, I tend to go to the Simon Hope ones at the moment. Some of these older ones I haven't used for quite a while. In fact, I spent most of the day actually cleaning them up and sharpening them. But this one, again, has got a gouge type cutter on with an adjustable fence. And it just adjusts with a wee thumb screw. And it's also got, in case you want to go a bit deeper, it's got an extra handle that actually fits in. And it's just a twist turn to lock. That's a very good question, Anna. One of these days I'll spend a fortnight counting them. Right, this is the another Robert Sorby. It's a longer one, longer handle, really long handle on this one. But when I had my pool wood lathe, I wanted to do some bigger work, some deeper work. So I had a couple of tools made up. So this one, yeah, Glyn just another one that I haven't used, and I think Steve's also got this as well. But Glyn got one at Harrogate, is the Crown hollowing set. I'm sure Steve's got that one as well. Glyn's also got one of the, is it one of the Robert Sorby ones you've got, Glyn, that I used down at your place? I'll tell you the truth, Steve. I'd probably get the stock in and just want to use it all. Right, so this is one that I had made up. This is an inch diameter mild steel bar. I had a hole drilled in the end just to take a high-speed steel bar that I've profiled, but I also had a hole drilled at 45 degrees, so I can actually fit it in at the side as well, like that. Hi, Snake. Oh, the Ultimate, that was it. That's the one I was thinking of. I did use that one down at Glyn's, and the thing is, with particularly ones that have got a gouge type blade on them, if you like, you don't just have to use them on spindle work and deep hollow forms. You can actually use them on doing bowls, which I did when I was down at Glyn's. So this one, I think this is inch square, and it's got a 3/4 round on the end. I had that machined on, and again, the cutter either goes in the end or it will go in at 45 degrees, depending on what I'm wanting to do. But with something this sort of size and this sort of weight, you've got to have a decent handle for it. Excuse me, I'm bending down. I always make that noise. So what I've got here, this is the battery's running low. Why is my battery running low? Hang on. Oh, because my bloody thing isn't plugged in. Bear with me a second. I forgot to plug the extension lead in. That's better. Right, so what I've got here is a stainless steel tube with a 3/4 inch hole drilled in the end, so I can fit my nice that is overall length 44 inches. So it gives a lot of stability for doing deep work and things like that. When I'm using the hollowing jig, I use the Simon Hope hollowing jig. And when I'm using that, I use, where the hell's it gone? I've lost it. Bear with me a minute. I had everything set out and now it's all gone. Hi, Leona. I hate opening this house. I just had that this afternoon, but I just sharpened it. Oh, there it is. But I want to do just a mid-size thing. I use, again, this is one of Simon Hope's. This has got a very small 6mm cutter on the end, and it is super aggressive. It really is very aggressive, this is. But this is the bar that actually gets used. Normality. This is the bar that gets used in the hollowing jig. Hi, Huey. So that's again, I think that's a 3/4 inch, but he does do inserts for the hollowing jig, so you can put a 5/8 in there, and I think a 1/2 inch as well, and they do a swan neck on that as well. That's all the different types of hollowing tools that I've got. Yes, it seems like a lot. But I think, like I said to Richard last night when we were talking about it after his show, I have been doing this for a long time, and all of the tools that I've collected or hoarded have been bought while I was working and had money. So that's the best time to do anything. Right, should I get on and do some turning now, since I've showed them? Right, what I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to get a basic shape. And the thing, again, with hollowing, you don't have to have it a closed form. It can be an open form, still hollowing. And you don't have to use the swan neck all the time. Sorry, Steve. Forstner hollower. Good for starting off work. And the one that I tend to use, I don't know the exact, I'll just measure us. That'll be the easy thing to do. Now it's about 1 inch and 7/8, that is. I tend to use this sort of size more for speed and finishing off the bottom of the hollows and the vases and things that I do. Because if I make the hole this size in the end or at the top of the vase, that size hole fits exactly into the small O'Donnell jaws that I've got on my other chuck. So I can actually reverse things very easily. And then I've got a longer hollow forcing a bit if I'm doing any sort of deeper work. Hi, Trinode. Hi, Mo. Right, I'm turning at just short of 1400 there. I'm just going to quickly shape this. Oh, yeah. Well, tools are. I think Glyn's got a couple of Jimmy Clues followers as well. Quickly shape the top. I think I said earlier on, Steve, I really like the Simon Hope ones. They're the ones that I tend to go to mainly these days. A lot of the ones, the likes of this one, that have got the sort of gouge blades in them, if they're not set up right and you do take too aggressive a cut, they actually clog up a hell of a lot. So, although I've got a few of these, I'm not that keen on them purely because of that reason, because they do clog up a hell of a lot, and you're having to scrape about for a small screwdriver to try and get them cleaned out. Other than that, good evening, Mike. How the devil are you? My God. Okay, I'm just going to get this top bit straightened off. Knock that tool rest down a bit. Now, a lot of the time, if you don't have any hollowing tools, I'm going to leave this fairly wide. This is going to be wider than I usually do it, just so I can show different techniques and things. But if you don't have any hollowing tools, and you don't have a forcing bit, I think I showed this on Sunday night, you get the tool rest set up properly. I'll turn the speed down a bit. You can just use the spindle gouge to actually drill. To tell you the truth, if you want to watch a good video of the Simon Hope hollowing jig, go across and watch Mike's. Right, that's just doing some drilling with the spindle gouge. Just to show that it can be done. But like I said, if you don't have any hollowing tools, it doesn't really matter, because you can use a spindle gouge. You can use a ball gouge for hollowing out. And what you do is use it realistic. There's that word realistically again. Use it like a scraper. Have it upside down. Yeah, realistically, I need to stop saying that. Have it upside down, so you've actually got the flute on the tool rest. Then just start turning away from yourself until the blade starts biting. And there you are, just using an ordinary tool gouge for hollowing out. Hiya, Dave. And again, you can do the same thing with the spindle gouge. It does work better with the ball gouge. Now, if you look at, I'll use the small hollower. If you look at the small hollower, my hand's going to go in the way there. Looking at that there, I can actually get round this side totally with a straight bar rather than having to use a swan neck. And the straight bars are always more stable. It is, Jen. It is that. That's basically how that one works. And the Simon Hope one, the mini hollower, the blade on it. Can't do that. The blade on it is set at 45 degrees. So it gives a very good cut. Now, ones with the just going to swap this over. This is the woodcut hollowing tool, which has got the it's sort of the gouge on. But that's actually started filling up straight away there. Ring tool. Oh, the only bloody tool in the shop I didn't sharpen. Ring tool. Works absolutely brilliant in end grain. You find a lot of European turners use something similar to this, but it's actually a hook tool. It's been years since I've used this, mind. Let's move the tool rest back a bit so I can get in. Again, excellent on end grain. Well done, Steve. Give pro laugh anyway. What I found best with this type of tool, the one with the gouge type blade and the what did I say that was called? I can't remember. Is when you actually put it in, put it on the guard first, and then start bringing the tool up till you start getting the cut. And that way, it does tend to be less aggressive. That's that one. Another one, similar way it works. Is this one. You do get really nice shavings off these. All right, good. So you can see the type of shavings that come off using the gouge type blade. Too late, Stace, they'll be going on the fire. All right, I just want. You wish. I wish. prefer to keep warm in the winter. Oh, the ones I didn't mention. Your ordinary day-to-day carbides. They do for hollowing as well. I'm just taking some of the centre out again. I mean, they work fine. It's about the only thing I use carbides for. Just doing a depth test. It's a bit aggressive. What I'll do, I'll move on to the tool that I use for a lot of the vase type things that I do, which is the Simon Hope. The thing is with traditional scrapers is that if you're doing something smallish, the stems on the traditional scrapers don't tend to be thick enough, if you see what I mean. You can get a lot of vibration, especially when you're reaching down a fair way. One thing you will find doing hollowing is that you're going to start developing extra powers. And one of those extra powers is being able to see through wood. So you can actually tell the depth, and you can also tell how thick the walls are or how thin the walls are. Right, this is one that I had made up. Oh, I don't know how many years ago I had this made up, but it's steel. Now you will notice that quite a lot of my tools have got surface rust on them. That's because I get flooded on a regular basis, and I'm not just talking a couple of centimeters either. In the workshop here, it gets up to probably thigh height. But what this has got a thin piece of carbide, which has been, I think it was brazed on there, I think. And all I do with that is just go across it with a diamond tool. And that works pretty well. Oh, sorry, what was that? Right. Glenn, I use the infrared one. I probably should have paid the extra money and got the TV one, but I use the infrared one. It means you've got to swap the blade about a couple of times, depending on I'll go on this side, depending on where you are actually in the vessel. You've got to change the infrared or the laser point to the blade, so you've got it in the right part. But that's, I mean, really, that's no hardship at all, that. Hi, Billy. Right, so I'll go back to the Simon Hope one. Dave, how are you? Right, so the Simon Hope one, flat bar, the cutter, which I think is an 8mm cutter on this one, and that's set at 45 degrees. So you're best having that on centre height, and you can have the bar straight on centre height for doing this. Hi, Joe. We'll start hitting the tripod and everything here. Now it's a small cutter on this, but it actually gets rid of a hell of a lot of material. Feeler gauges. If you remember, Steve, when I was doing the Christmas decorations live, when I drilled around that small piece I was going to do into a hanging decoration and then went through the side, that was pretty annoying. The most annoying ones that I do get, well, not on a regular basis, but I do get, is I get it all nicely hollowed out here, and I get all the way down to here. Then I try and make the inside diameter bigger than the outside diameter. And it tends not to work very well doing that. I just seen that. I just saw that deal. Oh dear, Dave. What was that deal? Sorry, Jen. No, it still didn't get that. Oh yeah, TARDIS. Yes. Yeah. Yes, Jen. But this is like anything, it's time, patience, and practice. Hi, Joy. Hi, GSG. Now we're getting there. We're getting there. Hi, Brandon. This is Brandon, isn't it? I'm just going to see if I can use a smaller. No, that's not going to fit on there. The handle's a bit long. Now, the other thing about swan neck tools, which I meant to say earlier on, if you are going to use a swan neck, remember to move your tool rest back. I'm going to put a lot of your tool rest on. Remember to put your tool rest back. You don't use a swan neck tool like that with the actual swan neck part of it on the tool rest, because that's going to flip it around a hell of a lot easier. A lot of these swan neck tools are designed so the cutter is actually in line with the bar, so there's less chance of it spinning round. That's coming along nicely. I've got about the same thickness down to about there. Have I still got the first tool I ever got? No. That is well worn out and gone. Have I got something close? Let's have a quick look. Yes, so do I, Glenn. The thing is with a swan neck, you've got to concentrate a hell of a lot harder. Right, there's a skew chisel I've had for a few years. That's nearly down and gone. But no, all the chisels I got way back when are all well gone now. I don't see any really old ones. Yeah, it is. I only tend to use that for cleaning the nub off the bottom of vases and things. I'm going to have a quick check to see what the depth is on that. Don't know about there. I've just got a nub in the bottom I'm trying to get rid of. If you've got the money, I would go for that one from Simon Hope. If you got the money, it's good value. It works very well. It's got an 8mm cutter on there, which you can actually turn once it starts dulling. It comes unhandled, so you would probably have to buy a handle for it as well. But with these types of handles, you can get different size bushings for them, so they can take different sizes of tool. Mind you, I'll probably change my mind after I've been down to Glyn's and had a go with his. Now, I could have made life a hell of a lot easier for myself if I had drilled this out, but obviously I didn't. We're getting there. Right, I've got one bump around about here that I'll just get rid of. Put the bloody tool down again. Bloody thing, isn't it? Oh. Yes. On the swan neck, it's actually flat, Steve. But what you can do is obviously angle it. No, you can't. No, it's definitely flat. On the larger swan neck, I always, when I'm working with the tools on the larger swan neck, which I've got here, I always set the tool up. And this is even when I'm using the straight bar as well. I always set the tool up so the three Allen screws are on the top of the bar. So if I want to tilt it over a wee bit, I've got that option and I know where everything is. Not to worry, I'll leave it as it is. I'm just getting rid of some more bumps a wee bit. Deals run out of Jaffa Cakes. Just to keep you informed. Oh, the mini, yeah, right, okay, Steve, yeah, I'm with you. Now, seeing as how this has got the round bar, I'm actually feeling it want to twist round all the time. Now, I've just got another hump there that I want to get rid of. You just bear with me, I'm just going to swap this cutter here for a different one. That's another good thing about the Simon Hope tools is that the cutters are interchangeable. I'll leave that one in there, I'll put it on the spun neck. Decisions. Night, Woody. Thanks for popping in. All right. That's why, yeah. No, don't bother. No, don't do that. I'm gonna have a chat about this in a bit anyway. Right, what I've done, I've actually put this is a Simon Hope round cutter on this. Now it's not carbide; it's high speed steel. so it can be sharpened fairly easy. And this is one that goes into the hollowing jig. It will fit into the handle as well. But for the size of thing I'm doing here, I don't think I'm going to need it in the handle. All I'm using it for, this is very good for taking off any bumps on the inside that you've actually caused using the cutter. I've got it tilted over to one side again, so it's at about 45 degrees. And just nice and gently. Oh, hang about a minute, Steve. Okay. Right, what I was going to say while they were still here, I was going to ask if anybody had seen the Makers International podcast on Sunday night. Very interesting one. A lot about giving support to people and how people have given support in the past. Now, I'm not particularly bothered which side of any sort of argument you come down on, but to me, there's certainly a time that you need to let it go. For what's gone on over the past couple of few months, I personally think enough is enough. It's affecting a hell of a lot. It's affecting a hell of a lot of people. There's been some fallings out over it, and it's not nice. I'm not saying people were right and people were wrong about what went on. What I am saying is, let's just stop it now. I think it's gone far enough. It's, to tell you the truth, it's getting worse than the I nearly swore there. It's getting worse than the bloody politics. Now, don't talk politics, but it really is. There's not a day or two goes by that somebody's saying something. People are dropping friendships, not watching other people's videos. And I really do think it's about time it stopped. But yet again, that's just me. Right, I've actually got a fair bit of wall thickness there, so I'm going to have a bit play with the shape. I'm going to make it a bit narrower at the bottom. Famous last words, he said. Now you're rich. Right, I'm happy with the inside of that now. So, how do you sand the inside? I haven't sanded the outside yet, but how do you sand the inside? Because the last thing you want to do is start putting fingers in there. It's not very good for you. So what I've got for doing, obviously for doing longer hollows, but works as well on this one. Again, Simon Hope, and this is the long neck, if you like, sander. I've just got a small inch sander on there, and the good thing with this is you can actually use the tool rest. You can use it as a golf club as well. Neil just said. Turn the speed down round about 500 for sanding. Introduce it. Yeah, great. I think you're going to need one a bit longer than this with what you're planning on doing. I'm actually starting 120 on this one instead of my usual 80. Right, I'll just get the outside quickly sanded. Yeah, I heard that. Andy said, I think Andy, did you not see that earlier on in one of your Insta feeds, Andy? Right, that's it. I'm sick of sanding. Had enough of that. Seeing that, I might have to do one a little bit more sanding. I just want to get the parting cut started. I did have a parting tool. Right. Acrylic sand and sealer. That's all I'm using for a finish on the inside. Something fell over. How unusual for one of my lights. Acrylic sand and sealer. What am I using that for? I nearly knocked that back then. No need. I'm not painting it or anything. Yorkshire grit. There we are. Yorkshire grit, original. Rub it on with the lathe stationery after sand and sealer. And then start rubbing it in, starting off at around about 250. If your lathe doesn't go that low, start it off at the low speed, it will go. Use the same piece of paper that you applied it with and just keep on rubbing it in. Around about 3 minutes, using the same piece of paper. Yeah, especially after you've done nothing else but use Yorkshire grit for a whole 3 days. Move on to a clean piece of paper, turn the speed up a bit. You're still breaking down the abrasive was in the paste, which is the rotten stone. That's still getting broken down. Change the paper, move the speed up until eventually networking, Glenn, networking. Now I'm finally finishing off. Well, I've got it running just over 900, just to give it a final buff with the Yorkshire grit. That's looking not too shabby. I'll show you better once I've done. Right, I'm going to finish this off with some. Now I did think about putting embellishing wax on down the I'm not going to do. Well, that's true, you did. All right. Strange. You sub anyway. I could do with the subs. I'm about 450 away from 3,000. And I just hit 125,000 views today on YouTube. So thank you very much, everybody who watches. It is much appreciated. Keep the channel going. Right. Kitchen roll. Aldi. That's where I buy my from. When they get bulk buys of the kitchen roll in, I buy a bulk pack, and that's what I use. And then we are just get this nicely buffed up now. This is the, like I say, the Hampshire Sheen high gloss. Work it in nicely. I'm just going to have a measure across just to see what size this top is. Okay, thank you. Right, what I'm going to try, and I'm going to see if I can get this finished off. I'm not very sure if this will fit in my other chuck. If it doesn't, I'll just put it back into this one. I'll part it off first. Hi Zombie, how are you? You keeping well? Now again, using the parting tool, I think I said this the other week. When you're using the parting tool, don't go straight in. If you go straight in like that, you're using it realistically as a scrape and cut. If you start off with the bevel rubbing, bring the handle up so you bring the blade down so you start getting the cut, and then as you're going in towards the centre, you bring it down to the centre line. And that's the best way to use a parting tool. Cheers, mate. Right, yet again, I'm going to change my tool rest. The thing about using the tool rest this length, when you're working right at the end, if you like, I'll show you at this end, is that there is a tendency for it to move. And if you're working next to the chuck and it moves in, it's going to be metal on metal, which isn't very good. Or, like Dale's saying, if you've got a crap banjo, it's going to move all by itself. I'll just get a bit more of this cleaned off. Right, this isn't going to need very much tightening up, and I'm not going to be doing very much on the bottom anyway. It shouldn't do. If people are afraid to do this because they think it might mark the inside of the top, like Dale's just mentioned to me, use some kitchen roll. And what you could do, now I parted that off, but what you could do is actually leave the bottom part on. So when you turn it around like this, you can bring the tailstock up and finish it like that. Let's see how, there I am. That's pretty damn good. So I'm just going to take this off very gently, taking very light cuts. Just want to take a wee bit more off there. Yeah. It's not bad, Glenn. Bit more grit. The spray is acrylic sand and sealer, Zombie. Very fast drying, water based. Whoop. Sack the juggler. That was me being too aggressive with the grit on the side. Start that bit again. Right, let's have a look. I did a bit of damage there. So that's going to need sanded. And on to 240. And I'll just go all over it again with the 240 just to get it all the same. Standing sealer on again. These things happen sometimes. Just like that. Oh, definitely. Yes, Glenn. I probably do need a vacuum chuck. Oh, I've got a vacuum chuck. Right. I think that'll do us. Actually, Glenn, there's still a fair amount of thickness left there. So there we are. Got a nice piece of ripple going on there. All this dark bit around here, this is actually, we've got an old plastic coal bunker around the side of my workshop, which I've had wood in there for, that long. So this has probably been in there for, I don't know, 15, 20 years, something like that. I just dug it out today. Perfectly dry. Got some nice figuring in there. One, right. Right. Good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do another live session using the hollowing jig, so you can see what it's like using the hollowing jig. And the piece I'm going to be doing, which I started today, is this. So that's what I'm going to be doing. It's, see how tall it is. It is about 9.5 inches tall by about 5 diameter. So it's been shaped, got the chucking point on there. It's been shaped. It hasn't been hollowed yet because that's the whole purpose. Sanded down to 400, and then sand and sealer, ebonizing lacquer, and violet, green, gold, and red Joe Sonia iridescent paints. So that's what I'm going to be doing on the next hollowing one. Right, question. Do you want us to do that next week? Let's see what the chat says. Thanks, Dave. Good. Fine. Okay. It looks like I'm getting a positive response about doing the big one next week. So I'll show you how I set up the hollowing jig and the tools that I use in the hollowing jig. Like I said, they do come with sleeves, so you can use a multitude of tools in there, but I will probably concentrate on the Simon Hope ones because that's what I tend to use. Anything else for tonight? Can I just reiterate what I was saying earlier on about how far this, arguments in general have gone on and people unfriended. Hang on, I'll put the camera up so I'm not just You can do, Dale. Right, thanks for popping in, Dale. Thanks a lot. Yeah, no bother. Speak to you soon. Cheers now. Right, Dale's just left. Well, he hasn't left. He's left. He's not me earworm anymore. That was a bit high. Oh, it's even worse. I'll tell you what, I'll come round, I'll change camera. That'll be the easiest thing to do. Hello. Can you still hear me, or have I got to change the audio as well? Oh, looks like the audio's still working. Right then, how's things? Hope you're all keeping well. Hey, Donna. Late again. Right, this basically the shite that's been happening over the few months has got, I think, the whole community divided. And realistically, what I would like to see, because I'm still friends with everybody, I tend to get on well with everybody. I can see the rights and the wrongs on both sides of everything that's been happening. But things have gone a bit far, and people are just not letting it alone. And probably this is happening on both sides as well, that people are not letting it alone. I think it needs to stop. We've got Maker Central coming up next year, May 2nd and 3rd, which a hell of a lot of people who we all know are going to be there. We've got people coming across from the States, people will probably end up coming from Europe. Well, I know there is people coming from Europe. We'll end up with people coming from Australia. We tend to get people from all over the world. And I mean, think about what they're going to be thinking when they turn up at the Hilton and basically half the folk aren't talking to half the folk and the other half the folk aren't talking to the other half the folk. It's going to be, absolute stupidity. Worse than bloody British politics at the minute. It really is. And that's crap. So forget about who's at fault. And just basically, let's put everything to bed. Let's start afresh. Let's all have a good time, and really enjoy the community. The podcast last Sunday night on Makers International, which will probably be coming out. Well, it'll probably be coming out tonight. There was a lot of talk, not necessarily about the particular incident or incidents, but there was a lot of talk about support. Let's start giving support. Let's stop ripping each other to shreds and start giving support. I don't usually speak up about things like this, but I feel I've sat in the background too long. I don't want to lose any friends over it. I don't want people to turn around and saying, oh, I'm not going to be friends with him. I'm not going to watch his videos because he's friends with somebody else and he watches somebody else's videos. I'm not that type of person. I haven't lost any friends over it, and I don't want to. And that's basically it. That's me said. And if you want to vote for me on the 12th of December, don't bother because I'm not bloody interested. Okay? Fine. That's me. I'm off. I hope you didn't mind that bit of a rant at the end. I did feel it's gone a bit far and I had to say something. But that's us. I hope you keep well. Andy, I hope you have a nice few days to come. I hope everything's not too out there, if you like. Dealing with the Bab and with the missus being away. It's got to be hard. I know it's going to be hard for you. If you want to have a chat, I'm always about sunshine. You know that. Right then, I'm off. I will see you next week and we'll do some more Halloween, but a bit bigger. Bye for now, folks.